look, man. So someone like 100 years ago, or decades ago, or 20 years ago, decided, someone in power, someone with a high level of authority, with a lot of pulling power, decided that it was time to start making life difficult for the average person by taking the fiber out of all of the food that we eat, out of all the diets that we can have, and start making it really hard for the average person to poop, right? Because that makes people's tummy ache. I mean, think about it. You have all of these. I mean, think about all the prescriptions that we have now, right? That cause nausea and tummy aches and all other manners of effects. And think about the way that humans used to eat, which is like absolutely disgusting. But they definitely got as much as they needed out of those diets, and how food has become more automated, standardized, processed. So it's really hard to meet some of the more unique, individualized needs of these people. And in order to do some of that, you're wasting so much material that could otherwise be used to round out diets and help satiate our body's need for certain nutrients. And man, it makes sense. People are hard. People are easier to control. They're not going to rise up and make a raucous demonstration if they can't go outside because their tummy aches, man. You can't tell me in good faith or confidence that the rise of fascism in the West doesn't have some positive correlation with the fact that the average person just lives with a perpetual tummy ache. And that's just terrible. We got to get more fiber. What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful time. My name is Ethan. I go by Lord Ethan, and I'm an Overwatch collegiate varsity coach of coming up on 6 years. Today, I'm taking a look at another 6v6 code. I was just chirping and chatting to one of my players who was like, "Man, Ethan, why are you even reviewing 6v6 codes?" And I was like, "Man, it's all the same. It's all the same. There's no difference. There's one more person on the field. The health pools are a little bit different. This is a 6v6. Get out of here, 5v5 purist. Actually, no, that's a lie. Stick around. Stick around here, please. And if you're gonna be a hater, leave a comment. I'm still looking for you guys. I need more haters. Hello, I need haters in my circle. You guys will help give rise to controversies that will make me even more YouTube famous than I am. And as you guys can tell, that has been a lifelong ambition of mine. So come on, guys, let's make it happen. In any case, we're gonna be taking a look at some JunkerQueen gameplay on the Australian map itself. So we're kind of on our own turf here, and this is actually a Gold 4 Open Queue rated match. So this is actually fairly into the trenches of this medal ranked average elo, and right now, man, we just want to get to platinum, right? We feel like we're qualified. We spent a little bit of time in the game. We've gotten a good grasp on kind of how we fundamentally engage with the game, and now we're looking to just apply a slightly steeper rigidity to those fundamentals, right? So this is going to be a JunkerQueen game. There are no questions about this particular match. Just a little bit of insight, some observations, and maybe investigating some of the relationships that exist between how we play the character and how the game is unfolding and what rules are in play for some of the scenarios that we're going to find ourselves in. So without further ado, let's get on out here. Looking at our composition, we are missing one. Be careful, right? We actually, I think, even saw the Junkrat here at one point, right? Did we actually... It's not a bad idea to take a peep out those windows and see, right? But also, right, consider, and this is going to be true, every position, every section of every single map in Overwatch, you never have to walk out the main angle. There's a door out here. There's a door over here. It looks like our Orisa already has the right idea to walk out there, right? That will help us avoid a lot of spam in these low metal ranks, right? What you'll find is that players actually often like to hold up in this space. They don't like to let the cart progress and play some of these poke positions. A lot of these players are absolutely happy to play in closer positions and kind of apply these early instances of pressure, which, by the way, as I really like that. I really, really like that. I don't like the idea of letting cart have space, right? So we kind of have like haplessly walk into the mine and the trap there, and like, okay, one off, kind of like, okay, that's the first time that's happened. That's the only time that's gonna happen. But it's a nice illustration of a couple of things. Number one, scouting is so important. Knowledge is power, right? If you're staring out the window before the gates open up, so that you know what's going out, then that way you can just rush out there. And if you don't know, right, then stop at the window, take a little bit of time, see what you see, unpeak, right, process that information, and then start moving on again, right? Knowledge is power. You actually want to spend, if Overwatch occurs in team fights and downtime, and team fights can be broken up into what I call fight phases, then you actually have like opportunities like between phases and during phases to gather information and figure out and let that drive what your next decisions are going to look like, right? So you really want to acquire information, right? Slow down. Don't try to play the game too quickly. Just look around you, see what's around, listen with your ears. Do you hear the of the Junkrat walking around? Do you hear the of the Baptiste gun, right? And let that information help you understand, okay, I don't want to be out in the open. I can move the objective. I'm looking for a knife on a Zenyatta who I hear charging a volley from an off angle, right? The left or the right side here, right? And that's all A-okay, right? All right, I like that knife. It's okay that we miss it. Just a little bit higher on that knife, and be careful. I'm already seeing a little bit too much jumping. Yeah, too much jumping, and I don't like the jumping. I've iterated in previous videos and in comments, so I'm just going to make my remark that I don't like the jumping. Part of the reason that you actually get grippied here is because our Weaver is looking to alleviate some of the pressure that we're taking, and honestly, it's kind of easy. We're critical, and look at where we are, out in the middle of the open. So for the first time in a couple of odd reviews, actually, I have the opportunity to say, hey guys, closer to walls, corners, covers, right? That is actually just a fundamental insight. So instead of running right back at them, right, find a wall, find a corner. You should never, in Overwatch, unless you are like taking a measured risk, right, you should never be more than 1.5 meters away from your nearest point of cover at any point in time. Use your axe swing there. It gives you health regenerations, right? So any bladed attack that JunkerQueen goes for is going to give her some of that passive health regeneration, some of the bleed stacks that she needs to keep herself sustained during times where her supports might have to be occupied doing other things, or where she's taking more damage than she would be able to reasonably justify without that extra healing, right? So go for those bladed abilities. My policy is if you have it, use it. If you can't use it, then find a reason to, and if you can't find a reason to, then make one. And let me tell you, dropping on this end to get a really excellently timed elimination, even if it comes at the cost of your life, partially because you don't use your axe, is a really good reason to use your axe, right? So I'd absolutely compel us to go for the cooldown usage there. There's no reason to save that. Be careful about playing out in the open here. I don't mind that knife there because that's actually based off of scouting information, right? You knew that the soldier was there, right? But that's not really the angle to do it, right? Do you think that I would actually take my champion-rated tank player and say, you know, I really need you to, while dropping onto the low ground, which, by the way, low ground versus high ground is so advantaged, and that's just an FPS fundamental, right? So from the low ground, out in the middle of the open, where everyone is able to shoot you, I want you to land a knife that's going to miraculously pull the soldier, and then I want you to kill him, right? Because I promise you, if you had gotten this knife, your next objective would have been to go kill that soldier, right? But does that seem fair, right? Look at this fight. Look at what's happening in this fight. Look at how far back our team is. Look at the losses that we suffered. The Ana who's down, the Orisa who's critical, the resources that we don't have as we go for the pedal and we're waiting for our life grip to come off cooldown, right? Is this really something that I would sit there and say, you have to do this, right? Be fair to yourself. Do what's reasonable, right? And if you're going to go for a play like that, let it be something that, you know, you're looking to set yourself up for, that if you can't make it work, that it's not a risk that's taken at the wrong time or for the wrong reasons, and also that it is something that, it's something that, you know, you can kite away from if it doesn't work out the way that you want to, right? But also, we don't want a tunnel vision here on this soldier, right? So going for the knife the third time is a little bit troublesome to me. And the reason that I chuckle a little bit is it's amusing to me as well because, yo, this is 6v6. You have 6 targets for your knife. It should never just be the one, right? So is it the Zen? Is it the horse to force her to use her gold ability? Oh, yeah. It's too samey for me. We're doing the same thing several consecutive times, and that's a really nice elimination, but I think that you could have started on soldier and then gone to Zen. Zen wouldn't have been able to help the soldier. There's a couple of other reasons, and then look at us, we're away from our walls, corners, covers, right? So I generally don't mind the approach, and honestly, also, by the way, use the map. Go left or right, just like I was saying earlier. You don't have to only fight main, right? So if you walk up this ramp, right, then you don't have to worry about taking soldier spam, crossing out in the middle of the open. You can actually just drop down over here, jump in front, and then go wherever you want, right? So use the map. I see us pathing out the same way. I see us looking to cast the knife the exact same way. I'm seeing us go for the exact same eliminations onto characters like the Zen and the soldier. I like the fact that we're fighting this Junkrat now, and honestly, I wind up the axe. Don't save that axe. That axe is such a good cooldown, and it's only good if it's getting used, right? Yeah. Okay, it's just worth it to spend a little bit of time in practice range, or the code that I like using for kind of projectile and aim training. See where we are on the open, close our walls, corners, covers. Is the thing that, and again, use the map. Like go left. There's a health pack here, right? To go right. There's a health pack here. There's cover, right? Overwatch 2 boils down. I'm sorry, it's Overwatch now. Overwatch boils down to 2 core principles. There, timing and map control, right? So you are out in the middle of the open at a time when everyone is looking at you, and they have control of their angles, and you can't reasonably regulate the 5 different angles that they have over you, right? As opposed to, you could be playing health packs and playing close to walls, corners, covers, behind your points of cover and your the places that you're safe. Health packs directly correspond to map control. If you're on a health pack, you have map control, right? So abide by those principles. Do things differently. Go left, go right. Stop forcing ourselves to go main here. I cut myself off from what I was saying. I had totally forgotten. I'm gonna feel like an absolute chump when I watch this video later. Yeah, excellent knife. Oh, I was gonna say, it's worth it to spend some time in VAXTA. Vaxta is what I use. There are other codes or whatever as well. I like that we use the axe there. Oh man, and after we get nano, like, keep the momentum going. There's no reason to take steps in the wrong direction here. Time is money kind of deal, right? It's very important to use it wisely, especially in Overwatch. So after getting that pick and moving around this corner and having the nano, right? It helps you drive the formation forward because you can play off of that aggression, right? So you want to really seize on the opportunity to be aggressive as much as you can and defensive as little as you can, right? So taking some steps backward there, it's very little, but it's a very important principle, right? It's always better in, for one, and it's better to be safer in, right? You don't want to be out in the middle of the open, but you can be on the left or the right. Nice knife, by the way. That's absolutely a knife that I like us landing. Now play our corners and covers, right? Don't walk forward to land abilities and damage that we can land reliably from range, right? Because we just put ourselves right back out in the middle of the open, where we're taking a ton of pressure at this time. Is this a quick play code? Oh. I like the ult. The policy is if we have it, use it. So that applies to cooldowns and to ults, and we want reasons to use things. And honestly, okay, I've had this conversation many times before, but if you get picks, if you force cooldowns, if you apply a bunch of damage or pressure and you force them to back up, you take a section of the map. Those are advantages. Play for that advantage. Don't let yourself have disadvantages imposed on you for like no reason, right? If you establish an advantage, then just keep it, right? After you get those 2 picks with the ult, you can just let the rest of the fight play out. You want to play your life there, right? Okay, so our Ana goes down. It's pretty much at this point that I'm backing off now. I'm like, okay, I don't want to die. I want to reset with the rest of my team, right? Because our Ana is respawning and our Widow is respawning, and they're going to respawn at basically the same time, and you are now respawning at a different time. Timing and map control are the 2 core principles to Overwatch, and if you're abiding by those concepts, then you are understanding how critically important it is that your team is respawning at the same time, because a lot of them move at the same speed, which puts them in the same places, or at least on corresponding angles at the same times, and that's exactly how you want to play the game. Nice. It's okay that you aren't landing knives. Like I said, I would just spend some time in like an aim trainer or something like that, kind of learning the projectile, how it feels, and build some confidence. Oh man, yeah, absolutely. So important to build confidence in our ability cast so that we land them more reliably. So I really like that you're just going for the ability cast in general, right? That's a really good way to build confidence. Just the Orisa interaction is she's going to eat everything that you do, the knife, the axe, the damage when she goes for that spin there. So it's really good to force that out. I really like that Zen pick, but we're out in the middle of the open, right? So once we get that Zen pick, or could we get that Zen pick from over here? Could we be playing this cover, this angle, right? Could we be on this health pack? Go left or right? Not main. And you can go main. I mean, you can go main like once or twice, but between those instances, you're going left or right. And you're always looking to do something differently, right? Not only am I always thinking in Overwatch, where do I want to be 8 seconds from now, so that I am playing differently than I was in a previous fight or a previous fight phase, right? But I also want to be thinking about how do I want to play this upcoming fight differently? And the cool thing is that you're usually doing that when you're walking back from spawn, right? Is you're deciding, do I want to go left or right or forward or backward or whatever, right? And so the thing is, if that's something that you only have to worry about, like as you're walking back from spawn, then you can choose as you're respawning to go left or right, forward or whatever, right? And you can do that then, instead of trying to figure out how you're going to do it once you get to the choke point, right? Once you get to the point where you're just walking main. You have time to think about it. You're dead. Oh my goodness, that took me forever to reach that conclusion. We have some nice picks, nice point presence here. And yeah, that's all right. That's a little bit tough. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a comp game. Okay, so they have a little bit of a fast romp here on the attacking phase. Oh man. Okay. I like the JunkerQueen. I actually really like it. I like some of the ideas that you're having. I like the fact that, like, there's really no one off limits as well, right? You're not afraid to take any of these matchups, which I think is a really, really good quality to have out of a JunkerQueen player, by the way. We're not quite as sensitive to the damage as we should be. Whenever you take damage on Overwatch, the next thing you want to do is be very sensitive to the next instance of damage you take. We want to play closer to walls, corners, and covers that will help us be responsive to our knowledge of which damage instances to be sensitive or not, or insensitive to, right? I might not have to worry about a little bit of soldier spam, but I absolutely have to be wary of Junkrat or Zenyatta orbs, especially after I've taken one of them, right? Or Orisa Spear, or whatever, right? Damage ramps up very quickly in Overwatch from insignificant to significant to lethal, right? And if you get hit with the insignificant damage, it almost going to take nothing at all to go right up to significant and lethal, right? Back up here, I would actually shout and walk away is what I would do. Nice that you get this pick. Okay, advantage. You've gotten the pick, now walk away. Walk away and force them to 1v1 you so that you are... yes, no! Oh, pull out the knife, he's won! No! That's okay. Okay, all right. Like, conflicting ideas. You just need to play your advantages. You got your pick, now walk away. Like, I'm sorry. Are we under the impression, right, that we would have to walk up here, get this pick that we shouldn't even be getting, right? They're all stacked up on top of the point. We should be dead, right? So honestly, as soon as we know that the fight is over, we should be sitting right here watching our Juno die, or at least if we walk out here and watch our Juno die, it's shout and walk backwards, right? Or shout and walk over here. This is actually how I would do it, right? So that you can figure out where you want to go from there, right? But even though we get this pick, right? Are you telling me that, okay, I'll get this pick, now the first thing that I have to do while the cart is right here and isn't right here, the thing that I have to do is go fight that, right? No, you're going to tell me that, oh, okay, I got that pick, but like Jeff Overwatch or John JunkerQueen is going to yell at me if I go back here, where either they won't chase me, they'll leave me alone, and I can wait and turn around and see when my team like comes back to their angle so that I know when to engage, right? So that I can come back down here and grab Mega, right? Because you can even drop and go fight down here, although that'd be dangerous. They would pinch you here, you would die either way. But I just want to like illustrate that like you don't have to go for like the knee-jerk like, oh, I have to go do this, right? I can, I must, I will moments, right? So like play for the advantages. Once you get that pick, like I call it effing off. Like just go away somewhere, right? And do your own thing. But honestly, it was also the axe. We needed to pull out the axe like really, really early, right? If we're committing into like 5 of them, what are you going to save your cooldowns for, right? Oh, I don't like the drop. You get the pick on the ash and then you just play advantage, right? High ground position is an advantage over low ground position. You got the pick. You don't need to be taking damage, and you've already killed the soldier, right? So I really dislike the drop there. And then I also again, you want to just like back out. Like as soon as you know that you're kind of in a tough position, you just want to dip on out of there as quickly as possible. I also cut myself off once more from what I was saying, but that's okay. I was really just reiterating concepts, and I do it like in every video. I'm probably a little more schizophrenic sounding in this video than others. I've been doing a lot of VODs lately. There's a lot of replay codes that you guys have submitted, and I've been having an absolute blast watching them all. So we're gonna see how this one wraps up here. We are gonna look to get knives here, but this isn't really the position that is the easiest one to get these eliminations from. I think that is really fortuitous that their Orisa like ends up playing in front of us, and be careful. We want a little bit of variable movement, right? So add in a little, some sidestepping, movement back and forth, right, to dodge some of the shots that are coming in. And remember, look, we're out in the middle of the open once again, right? So we're playing for advantages, right? We got those picks. We don't have to run into the Zenyatta who wants us running into him while the Ashe has his back on a crossfire. We want to get the pick that we've gotten, and oh my god, I'm skipping this song. We want to get the pick that we've gotten, and then go on from there, right? Alrighty. Nice. Yeah. That was AI Ethan showed up for a second there. Oh my goodness. I'm getting my bearings. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. So, I mean, okay, look, so there's a lot that's happening in this VOD. There's definitely a lot more that is happening than just what we see on the JunkerQueen. And this is one of those VODs that I'm like, man, I would love to just take a magnifying glass to it, because that kind of thing is actually really, really fun to go in and examine. But that's really something that's reserved for those who are looking for affordable professional standard coaching, who are looking to book those kind of full block one-on-one sessions where we can review, discuss, and look over like team or group or individual stuff, whatever. ever, right? And honestly, I'm actually just thankful that we even get to take a look at the tip of the iceberg there and just get a couple of fundamental improvements. I was watching an Awkward video today, or an Awkward like short today that he released, where he was like, yeah, all the way up to like GM1, you don't need the nuance. It's just the fundamentals. And I don't think Awkward is like terrible. I know why he's contentious. I think that some of his views are okay, and I understand why he's a highly effective educator, but also like why he, people find him contentious. But I thought that was a really good point. It's just about the fundamentals, right? So go watch some of my other videos as well, and that'll give you some really good pointers into and other good demonstrations of like exactly why these principles are so incredibly important, right? This is a VOD that would be fun to take a really close look at, but at the end of the day, it's really not much different from other Overwatch. Guys, a huge thank you goes out to this is oh my goodness, this was I believe MacyMacy for the replay code submission, for letting us take a look at that map and share a little bit of feedback. If you would like to have your VODs reviewed for free on the channel, then use the Google form below to submit your replay codes. Guys, it's impossible for me to measure my gratitude towards those who are supporting the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing these videos around, and I really appreciate that, you guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, thanks for sticking around. If you're a regular, then you already know how I feel about you. If you're a hater, leave a comment, and if you're just along for the ride like myself, guys, then stick around. It's going to be an absolutely unbelievable journey, and it's going to get really hectic for me here soon. Probably have an update video on that one at some point here soon, so that you guys have an idea of why VOD reviews might slow down a little bit or be a little bit troubled at some point in the near future. We'll have a conversation about that whenever the time is right. For now, leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications so that you guys can see the instant that new videos premiere. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Remember to be good to each other, be fair to yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next one.